Breaking down this red oak is the first step in building the biggest piece I've made yet, a dining table to seat up to 10. I'm ripping off the edges of wider boards to access the straighter grained material found away from the center. You'll see why in a bit. These pieces I'm making from the milled 8/4 stock will be laminated into the legs. I want about 3-inch square leg blanks at final dimension, and that's thicker stock than I can find locally, so I've got to make my own. Laying out legs, marking them once paired. Here's where pulling that straight-grained material pays off. I'll be able to hide the lamination seams and have a pretty uniform look across the legs. Also, straighter grain tends to be more stable, important in this usage. For the top, I have 5/4 ash, about 10 feet long each. These are wide, heavy boards, difficult to manage in the small shop by myself. I'm cutting them down as close to final as I can before milling, but still, they're a handful. This shouldn't be so difficult. It's brutally hot out, though. It's not making it any easier. With the leg blanks at intended thickness, I can make a quick template and trace on a shape for them. A gentle curve along the foot will go a long way towards refining the finished look. I'm marking every face extensively to help avoid any cutting errors. Rough cuts are made on the bandsaw and refined on the belt sander, and cut to final height. I'm pretty sure I got the idea for these flexible sanding blocks from an old Wood Whisperer video. They're easy to make and are just flat out great for smoothing out long curves. This one is quite worn and ready for new paper. A little 3M adhesive on the cork. Wait for it to tack up. And pressed fresh sandpaper. I like to make these in 80 and 120 grit. The first apron strut serves as a template for the next. And a gentle chamfer along the bottom faces adds durability and detail. I'm building the legs and aprons as knockdown assemblies. The short sides will be permanent components, while the long strut assemblies will be removable. I'm using the domino for this, as I think the knockdown connectors are the single best reason to have one. They are fantastic. They do require very specific installation though, so I'm carefully marking out the connector cuts to distinguish the fasteners from the much deeper mortises I'm making for the load-bearing tenons. I had taken a break from the tabletop milling. The boards were just too much to get over the jointer by myself. I ordered a long Makita track, which works just fine with my Festool saw to take care of these long edge joints. A good move. I've made a number of pieces nearly as big as this in at least some metric, But this has really been a lesson in how rarely things in our world scale linearly. I kept the design on this one very intentionally clean and simple, primarily not to compete with the boldness of the black finish, but also to simplify the build. Yet I've consistently underestimated the time and physical effort going into this one. I'm gluing up sub-assemblies for the top panel. Glue-ups are stressful, so breaking this into smaller components means better focus, less chance of a sloppy glue line, and less chance of doing something dumb. Less chance, not no chance. If you've seen my other videos, you've seen this, my method for drawing shallow curves. I use a long strip of scrap that's even in thickness and straight-grained and rested against two equally set stops taped to the workpiece. I then bow the scrap with the apex centered on the piece and pencil it in. Well, we can't deliver the table with that there. Luckily, this is an easy fix. First, saturate the wood fibers in the affected area with distilled water. Rest a damp cloth over the dent and steam the area with an iron. Check often and keep everything damp. The fibers will swell, and after a light sanding, small dents will disappear. Also, don't let your cat into the shop, and you'll need to repair dents from knocked over clamps less often. This is the USSA Pioneer 2 router base, which was sent to me by Zeox Tools. It's a multifunction unit that does a lot of cool stuff, but here I'm just appreciating the extra stability when reaching across the big panel. There is a non-affiliate link and a discount code in the comments if it's something you're interested in. Finish is many coats of monocoat. Really like a monthly car payment's worth of pre-color black and oil 2C on a much nicer car than mine. I'm trying to work out an alternative to it, but I've yet to find a recipe that gets this smoky near black and keeps some depth to it. A final buffing of the dry finish, and we're ready to go. I really wish I'd been able to get good photos of this thing, but I was already behind schedule for the extraordinarily patient client, and I had a list of to-dos growing as the shop and driveway sat entirely occupied. So with another piece off on its way, I am on to smaller things.